Hi, I'm Rebecca Carner. Today's tuning is really centered around our light body. And maybe even more so than our light body, but really ourselves as light. And sort of the inherent nature of our photonic presence. We are biophotons. We emit in our electromagnetic field, we emit low signatures of light that are measurable on many different types of equipment. But the focus of the tuning today is really to tap in to the light that is always in us and to deepen our relationship with our electrical light natures. So if you think of the human body as an electrical circuit or the filament in an old-timey light bulb, what I'm doing now is I'm activating and sort of plugging into one end of the circuit, one end of the filament. And I'm going to come around and activate the other end, and then we're really going to focus on the light frequencies in our body, the nature of ourselves that is pulsating light or standing waves that are by their very nature light in space or photonic. But if you imagine a light bulb growing really bright, sort of getting its first little hit of electricity and then the filament getting brighter and brighter, really imagine drawing up light from your feet and really aid me in this process of activating this energy point. And then with all things electrical, we also want to establish a ground so that you can run the current but not get overloaded. Nice. And so much in wellness, whether be it physical wellness or emotional wellness, it's not so much well, sometimes it's about radical change, but oftentimes it's not so much about any sort of radical change as it is about strengthening the good things that already exist and leveraging the good stuff So in that same interest, this tuning, I mean, whether you sort of subscribe to the model of us being biochemical, mechanical creatures or electric photonic creatures, the fact is that they're both true and they both exist. And so, can we strengthen the light wattage that is intrinsically in us at all times? There we go. All right, I think this is, let's go ahead and come around to the other. So again, in that same way, imagine light shining down from your head. So you already drew the light up from your feet. Now we're activating the other end of the filament, so to speak. And then once we get the two ends of the filament really plugged in, then we're going to strengthen the light pulses within our energetic light bodies. Really breathe into this one, just as the sun never really needs a cup of coffee or never really needs a prompting to shine its warm rays on us. Our light natures are always there. There we go. Just like the sun is still shining even if it's a completely overcast day. It might be obscured, but it's always there. This really sounds like it needs a higher tone to help it connect really strongly. Here we go. There we go. It's as if the brain really isn't convinced that we're light. So in a certain group of people, it's kind of a common expression to talk about, quote, love and light, or sending love and light, that sort of thing. And it's become a little bit of a sound bite. But it's true. We can, in fact, send love, and we very concretely can send light as well, because we are light and we house light within us. And when you're dealing with, say, physical distress of some sort, a cut, a bruise, a headache, sinus congestion, anything like that, if you imagine sending light to that particular part of your body, you really can speed up recovery in a rather remarkable way, because what you're doing has effect. And likewise, if you're having an emotional struggle either within yourself or between you and someone else or a group of people, if you really focus in on your intrinsic light nature and sort of up the wattage on your inner light, it can really bring aided or quicker resolution to emotional distress as well as physical distress. And I just sort of ran over the main parts of the energy body to see maybe where our light was flagging a little bit in the collective, and it seems to be around the solar plexus. So I'm going to work another minute or two and just remind our solar plexus, which is right here just above the physical navel. And it's interesting because this energy point in particular is associated with the color yellow and is often described as our own personal sun. So it's interesting that the sort of heaviest part of tuning towards light was in fact our personal sun. So have these tones and this tuning really be a reminder of your intrinsic, ever-present, light-giving, or your ever-present light nature, and that you can direct said light inwardly to aid yourself or outwardly to send benefit to another or others at your discretion. And it's always there, always glowing, and always accessible. going to come around and do the other side. It's interesting. My spine had a spontaneous adjustment as I was columning up just then. Because when we develop the relationship with ourselves as light beings with a light nature, it really does inform and shift how our cells respond to all the information we're giving it. And the minute we sort of tap into I keep repeating the same word, but it really is just that we are light. It's I mean that in such the concrete, day-to-day, just like a light bulb, we are light. And when we embrace and work with ourselves as such, the information that informs the field of each one of our molecules really improves. And it ups our cellular resiliency, which then makes our physical resiliency and our emotional resiliency reserves so much higher. God, that really lightened up. Wonderful. There we go. And really calling that up. All right. I really just got a sense of that old Pink Floyd album where they have the ray of white light being refracted through a pyramid into a rainbow. And it really is all about that. When we strengthen our relationship with ourselves as light beings, it just makes it that much easier for us to be the refracted rainbows that in fact we all are, the symphony of sound and light and color that is the human being. Really lovely. All right, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the field. This is being filmed on 11/11, which for those of you who are into that sort of thing, it's an awesome day. Wow, okay, that is really like, oh, that's brilliant. All right, I want to do one with the 528 on that. That just felt so good. All right, so that's the tuning this week for our inner light natures, our inner light bodies, ourselves as light creatures and light giving and producing entities. Have a wonderful 11/11 and have a great week. If you'd like more information on tunings, please visit RebeccaCarner.com. Thanks.